One chapter I will be speaking about in today's video is magazines. As boring as they have gotten, they are important to today's society still. But more importantly for today, I will be speaking about the magazine that inspired the movie. Radical, a movie based in Matamoros, Mexico. This movie is based on a class in Mexico where a new teacher starts and decides to teach his students in a more specifically using Khan Academy. While all students learned and succeeded, there was one student who stood out. Paloma Nayola Bueno, also known as the next Steve Jobs. Paloma stood out to her teacher for many reasons, but one main reason was how smart she was. Sadly, in real life, she was living next to a dump and was poor. She only had her father to take care of her and raise her. The movie was based on a whole class, but centered its focus around three students. This one student in particular had a sad backstory, having been involved in a gang. He had prosperity and wanted to be in college and have a career, but was eventually brought down by the gang and was shot and killed. This other student also had a lot of prosperity and had wanted to be a philosopher in the movie, but had sadly had to drop out of school due to their mother having another child and them having to take care of it. And of course, the third child being Paloma. While the teacher had hopes for all of these students, only one of them could make it to the big test. This test being a test that all Mexican people have to take in order to pass school. This test being known to be one of the hardest tests to have to take in school. But with only one of the three kids being able to make it, the class still had one of the highest scores ever recorded in Mexico history. Soon the teacher and both Paloma would go down in history as being radical and would all get published on a famous magazine being called The Next Steve Jobs on Wired. This comes to a big surprise and a big shock to many Mexican people because, as seen in this article, public schools in Mexico unfortunately are underfunded and are lacking of resources, making it difficult for people to prosper. As said by my uncle in Mexico, who is a teacher in computers, he often struggles to find work due to the lack of computers that are in Mexican schools. As the movie is based on a true story, this is sadly far from the truth in Mexico. Most places and most schools do not have the luxury of being taught by such a teacher and are unable to actually fulfill any of the academic requirements. In the end, I believe the movie's main message was not only about education, but also reminding people to be aware of the luxuries they have. While these are the works I cited and quoted in my work, I do hope to see more movies like this one, because this one was for sure heartbreaking and entertaining at the